Hey everyone, happy Friday. It is Friday, February 5th, and we are back with another great day of reading the Bible. So, last we went over all the sacrifices that were presented. We went over the anointing of the Levites that God has chosen to help Aaron because the work was going to be too much for him and just his two remaining sons. As we know, two of his sons passed away. So that's what we covered yesterday. Today, we're going to talk about a nation that is now under law. And we're going to be reading from Numbers 9, verse 1 through to Numbers 1, verse 1, and we're going to read through to Numbers 2, verse 16. Sorry about that. All right, so yeah, that is correct. We're doing a couple of different readings here, it looks like, today. Bear with me just a moment. I have that wrong. So the first part that we're going to do is Numbers 9, verse 1 through to 12, and then we're gonna go back to Numbers 1, and we're gonna read through to verse 1, read through to Numbers 2, verse 16. Okay, so as we usually do, there is a bit of a synopsis that we go through. You guys already know that, just to lead up to and give context to what we're going to be reading. So with the tabernacle now constructed and the priests ready to serve at its altars, the Israelites are about to begin a new phase in the history of their young nation. They're going to begin functioning as a nation under covenant relationship with virtually every daily action influenced, if not directly prescribed by law. During the next 4 decades, God will give to Moses scores of laws affecting their religious and ceremonial duties, laws regulating diet and hygiene, laws of dedication and religious symbolism, civil laws and laws affecting political leaders, the army, and the court system, criminal laws, and offenses against religion, society, and morality, and various family and estate laws. The many laws within Israel's code are recorded in Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Often the same laws are repeated on different occasions and in varying contexts. Sometimes a law will be further expanded or more completely explained. In anticipation of the Israelites becoming less nomadic and more settled, the laws will appropriately reflect the changing circumstances. In an effort to avoid unnecessary duplication and in order to get a more understandable overview of the laws of Israel, all of the various laws will be brought together in one compendium at a later point in this volume, in the context of events to take place some 40 years later. Therefore, the book of Leviticus, which takes up where the Exodus record leaves off, will be left largely to later inclusion. Suffice it to say at this point that, as the name suggests, Leviticus pertains principally to the Levites and their priestly duties. Yet, the fact that Leviticus also contains so many laws is not at all surprising in view of its theme. Therefore, be holy because I am holy. So, and also talking about the book of Numbers here. The book of Numbers records briefly that here in the wilderness near Sinai, the Israelites observed their first Passover celebration since the actual Passover of death, which took place a year earlier in Egypt. It must be a time of mixed emotions, joy in having been freed from their bondage, and excitement at having become an independent nation, yet uncertainty about what the future holds. Even in the first celebration is an indication that the Israelites are already concerned about God's laws and how he might interpret them in light of exceptional circumstances. Here they learn that along with the strictness, say that 3 times, in the laws, God has provided measurements of grace as well. And this is where we're going to do Numbers 9, verses 1 through 12. The Lord spoke to Moses in the desert of Sinai in the first month of the second year after they came out of Egypt. He said, "Have the Israelites celebrate the Passover at the appointed time. Celebrate it at the appointed time at twilight on the 14th day of this month, in accordance with all its rules and regulations." So Moses told the Israelites to celebrate the Passover, and they did so in the desert of Sinai at twilight on the 14th day of the first month. The Israelites did everything just as the Lord commanded Moses. But some of them could not celebrate the Passover on that day because they were ceremonially unclean and on account of a dead body. So they came to Moses and Aaron that same day and said to Moses, "We have become unclean because of a dead body, but why should we be kept from presenting the Lord's offering with the other Israelites at the appointed time?" Moses answered them, "Wait until I find out what the Lord commands concerning you." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites, when any of you or your descendants are unclean because of a dead body or are away on a journey, they are still to celebrate the Lord's Passover, but they are to do it on the 14th day of the second month at twilight. They are to eat the lamb together with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They must not leave any of it till morning or break any of its bones. When they celebrate the Passover, they must follow all the regulations." Now we're going to continue on, but just going to read a little bit more context on what we're going to be reading next. A month has passed since the tabernacle was erected. The priesthood ordained the first laws of Moses given, and the nation of Israel truly established in fulfillment of the ancient promise to Abraham. Still, another part of God's covenant with Abraham is yet to be fulfilled. The occupation of Canaan, the promised land. God has never said that the land will simply be handed over to the Israelites without struggle. On the contrary, God has told the Israelites that they will have to fight for the land. Yet God has also promised to be with them and make them victorious, so long as they keep their faith in him as the only true God and remain obedient to his laws. Now, in the preparation for the taking of the promised land, God orders a number of the people of Israel, at least those of fighting age, 20 years or older. The numbering is more than a census or even a military draft. In fact, it is a national registration from which the Jewish people in centuries to come will trace their ancestry. One interesting feature of the numbering is that descendants of Joseph are counted as two separate tribes, though his sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, in accordance with Jacob's own words. Of a nation of approximately 2 million strong, 603,550 men are found to be of the age to fight. In addition to the numbering, the tribes are also assigned areas of encampment and given their order of march. Noticeably missing from the numbering of the fighting men is the tribe of Levi. It is clear that the nation will be strong in battle only as long as it is religiously dedicated to the service of God. So the Levites will be responsible for maintaining the people's spiritual service. Therefore, the numbering of the Levites will be done separately from the other tribes in two different bases. Once for all males at least a month old, of which there were 22,000, and once for all males between 30 and 50 years old who are ready to serve in the tabernacle, 8,580 of them. The places of encampment and the specific items to be carried by each family are also assigned. The Lord spoke to Moses in the tent of meeting. Sorry, now we're at Numbers 1, verse 1. So the Lord spoke to Moses in the tent of meeting in the desert of Sinai on the first day of the second month of the second year after the Israelites came out of Egypt. He said, "Take a census of the whole Israelite community by their clans and families, listing every man by name, one by one. You and Aaron are to count according to their divisions all the men in Israel who are 20 years old or more and able to serve in the army. One man, each tribe, each of them head of the family is to help you. These are the names of the men who are to assist you. From Reuben, Elizur, son of Shedeur. From Simeon, Shemuel, son of Zurishaddai. From Judah, Nahshon, son of Aminadab. From Ishkar, Nathaniel, son of Zuar. From Zebulun, Eliab, son of Helon. From the sons of Joseph, from Ephraim, Elishama, son of Ammihud. From Manasseh, Gamaliel, son of Pedazur. From Benjamin, Abidan, son of Gideoni. From Dan, Ahizor, son of Ammishaddai. From Asher, Pagiel, son of Okran. From Gad, Elisaph, son of Duel. From Naphtali, Ahira, son of Enan. These were the men appointed from the community, the leaders of their ancestral tribes. They were the heads of the clans of Israel. Moses and Aaron took these men whose names had been specified, and they called the whole community together on the first day of the second month. The people registered their ancestry by their clans and families, and the men 20 years old or more were listed by name, one by one, as the Lord commanded Moses, and so he counted them in the desert of Sinai. From the descendants of Reuben, the firstborn son of Israel, all the men 20 years old or more were able to serve in the army were listed by name, one by one, according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Reuben was 46,500. From the descendants of Simeon, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were counted and listed by name, one by one, according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Simeon was 59,300. From the descendants of Gad, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Gad was 45,650. From the descendants of Judah, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Judah was 74,600. From the descendants of Issachar, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Issachar was 54,400. From the descendants of Zebulun, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Zebulun was 57,400. From the sons of Joseph, from the descendants of Ephraim, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Ephraim was 40,500. From the descendants of Manasseh, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name, according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Manasseh was 32,200. From the descendants of Benjamin, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name, according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Benjamin was 35,400. From the numbers of Dan, All the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the numbers of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Dan was 62,700. From the descendants of Asher, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Asher was 41,500. From the descendants of Naphtali, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families. The numbers from the tribe of Naphtali was 53,400. These were the men counted by Moses and Aaron and the 12 leaders of Israel, each one representing his family. All the Israelites 20 years old or more who were able to serve in Israel's army were counted according to their families. The total number was 603,550. The ancestral tribe of the Levites, however, was not counted along with the others. The Lord had said to Moses, "You must not count the tribe of Levi or include them in the census of the other Israelites. Instead, appoint the Levites to be in charge of the tabernacle of the covenant law, over all its furnishings and everything belonging to it. They're to carry the tabernacle and all its furnishings. They're to take care of it and encamp around it. Whenever the tabernacle is to move, the Levites are to take it down, and whenever the tabernacle is to be set up, the Levites shall do it. Anyone else who approaches it is to be put to death. The Israelites are to set up their tents by divisions, each of them in their own camp under their standard. The Levites, however, are to set up their tents around the tabernacle of the covenant law so that my wrath will not fall on the Israelite community. The Levites are to be responsible for the care of the tabernacle of the covenant law. The Israelites did all this just as the Lord commanded Moses. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "The Israelites are to camp around the tent of meeting, some distance from it, each of them under their standard and holding the banners of their family. On the east, toward the sunrise, the divisions of the camp of Judah are to encamp under their standard. The leader of the people of Judah is Nahshon, son of Amminadab. His division numbers 74,600. The tribe of Ishar will camp next to them. Leader of the people of Ishar is Nathanael, son of Zuar. His division numbers 54,400. The tribe of Zebulun will be next. The leader of the people of Zebulun is Eliab, son of Helon. His division numbers 57,400. All the men assigned to the camp of Judah, according to their divisions, number 186,000. They will set out first. On the south will be the divisions of the camp of Reuben under their standard. The leader of the people of Reuben is Elizur, son of Shedeur. His division numbers 46,500. The tribe of Gideon will camp next to them. The tribe of Simeon, I take that back, will camp next to them. The leader of the people of Simeon is Shelmiel, son of Zurishaddai. His division numbers 59,300. That ends our reading for today, Friday, February 5th. Again, another long day of reading, but we're getting to the meat and potatoes of it all, as you can see. And the book of Numbers is named Numbers for a very specific reason. It has to do with numbers and, taking the census and counting the amount of people that are going to be chosen to go and fight this battle for the promised land, the land that has been promised to the people of Israel. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you showing up, listening to me read, and stay blessed. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.